it's Miss Katie again. I miss you so much, and I hope you all had a wonderful Easter. You'll notice today we're here in my kitchen, and that's because we're going to be making something really special today. And I have my sous chef with me, Ainsley.
Hi.
Ainsley's going to be helping me, and we're going to make resurrection cookies. Do you remember the word resurrection from Miss Allison's lesson? Resurrection is a big word. What does that mean, Ainsley?
To come alive again with a new body.
That's right. Jesus was resurrected. He came alive again with a new body. And while we make these cookies, I'm going to remind you of the Easter story once again. So first, I have this bag of pecans. Pecans are a kind of nut. And Ainsley's going to take our rolling pin, and I'm going to move this so you can see, and she's going to start smashing the pecans. So go ahead, Ainsley. Ainsley is smashing the pecans because this is a reminder of when the Roman soldiers arrested Jesus. Now remember, he didn't do anything wrong, but they still arrested him, and they were very mean to him. They hit him and made fun of him, right? And they hurt him very badly. You can read about this in John 19, verses 1 through 3. Right, and you have those smashed up. Our next ingredient is vinegar. I'm going to have Ainsley smell that. What do you think of that? Does it smell good?
No.
No, not a good smell. Vinegar is going to go in our mixing bowl, okay? When Jesus was on the cross, he became very thirsty, and the soldiers gave him vinegar to drink. Vinegar is very bitter and sour, and like Ainsley said, it doesn't smell very good. You can read about this in John 19, verses 28 through 30. Our next ingredient are egg whites. So these are some egg whites that I separated. And the egg is used a lot during Easter. Maybe some of you even went on an Easter egg hunt Easter morning. We use eggs during Easter because eggs represent life. When a chicken has an egg, a little chick is hatched from it. And so this represents Jesus giving his life for us. Remember, he died on the cross for us. So we're going to add our egg whites in there. Okay? So Ainsley, put your hand out. I'm going to put a little salt in Ainsley's hand. Now, Ainsley loves salt. She loves salt. But we're just going to take a pinch of salt and add it to our vinegar and our egg whites. And the salt represents the tears, the salty tears that were shed by Jesus' followers. Remember, Jesus' mother and his friends and his disciples all cried for him because they thought they lost Jesus when he died. And so the salt represents the tears they cried. It also represents the bitterness of sin in our life. You can read more about this in Luke chapter 23, verse 27. Right now, our ingredients for our cookies don't sound very good, do they? We have vinegar, egg whites, and salt. So, Ainsley, what can we add to make this a little tastier?
How about sugar?
Oh, something sweet, some sugar. You're right. So this is the sweetest part of the story. Look at all this sugar. This is because Jesus died because he loves us, right? He wants us to know this, and he wants us to belong to him. So, Ainsley, you want to dump all that sugar in there? You can read about that great message in Psalm 34, verse 8, and also John chapter 3, verse 16. What would you like to say?
I love the sound of that.
That sounded good, huh? So
Yeah.
It's tasting a little better now. All right. We're going to turn on our mixer. And this is going to take a moment, but in the magic of video, it's going to go by in a flash. Ooh, that was a lot of mixing. But look what happened. Our mixture turned white. And it's white to represent the purity we get from Jesus cleansing our sins. Isn't that wonderful?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to add in, remember those pecans that Ainsley crushed for us? I'm going to gently add them into our mixture.
Oh, okay. This is fun.
Okay. So Ainsley, now you're going to take teaspoons and put them on our paper.
Teaspoon.
Okay, so Ainsley's going to take some, yep, and scoop them onto our tray. Okay, like my mommy should. Like that.
Ah, okay.
Let's try that one again. Okay. And spread them in a row.
Yeah, I think you should do it.
All right, we got all our cookies scooped. Look at them. They look kind of rocky. Do you know why? It represents the tomb that Jesus was buried in. Remember that it was more like a cave than the tomb we might know today. So the next step is to put them in the oven.
I'm ready to put them in the oven.
Right.
Ooh, it's hot.
So just like Jesus' tomb was sealed, we're going to seal up our oven.
What? Okay.
Okay.
How are we going to do it?
Take our oven and seal it shut. Oh no, Mikey Mouse.
This is hard. Yeah.
So Jesus' tomb was sealed, remember, with a big rock in front of it. You can read about this in Matthew 27, verses 65 to 66. So, Ainsley, guess what?
What?
We're going to have to leave those cookies in there overnight.
Aww.
Are you sad about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to leave them in overnight and not taste them, right? What do you think Jesus' followers and his family and his friends thought when he was sealed in the tomb? Do you think they were sad?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were sad too. And so you can read about that in John 16, verses 20 and verses 22. And so we'll check in the morning. Ready to go.
The cookies! Whee! Yeah! Oh no! Our seal fell down.
That's okay. Let's check on the cookies anyways. Wow, look at how they're rocky. Remember we said that's like the tomb?
Mm-hmm.
Let's pick one up. And let me show you. When you open it, this one kind of fell apart on me, but when you open it, the inside is hollow. So remember the first Easter that Jesus' followers came to his tomb and were amazed to find that the tomb was open, the seal was broken, and the tomb was empty. You can read about this in Matthew 28, verses 1 through 9. This is the story of Jesus' resurrection. He came back to life. Well, friends, we really hope that you had fun watching us make these cookies, and I'll be sure to share the recipe so maybe you and your family can make resurrection cookies together. Do you have anything to say to our friends before we go?
Bye. I hope you have a wonderful day.
Bye, everybody. Love you.